Godzilla is now in New York City.
Monster 01 and 02, commence the attack.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stomp This Way.
Hey. How's it going? How's everybody doing today?
We're doing great.
How are you, Andrew?
Got to watch a good movie.
I'm good.
Good?
Good.
Question mark?
Would you admit that it's better than the one we watched last night? Andrew, it is, right?
Story-wise, probably.
Yeah.
It has characters?
Well, good enough. Close enough.
It does not have better production values.
No, they didn't spend $350 million.
No. They only spent $250 to $300 million on that movie.
Okay.
We're not going to say what movie that is.
No. But today we're talking about Gamera versus Guiron.
Definitely did not have that budget.
No.
Not even close.
You know, Disney didn't make this, so, don't have a lot of money to throw around. Some alternate titles. The original Japanese title translates to Gamera vs. Giant Evil Beast Guiron. The U.S. title was Attack of the Monsters. And in Italy, they called this film King Kong against Godzilla.
Huh?
I'm sorry, against Godzilla.
Not even close.
I guess King Kong is now a knife-headed...
And Godzilla's a giant turtle.
Yeah.
Not
Gamera.
Some quick making of trivia filmed in a 4-week span.
That's very quick.
Effect sequences were completed over a period of 2 months. Yuasa continued to be both director and a special effects supervisor. Was originally supposed to feature a new monster called Manga. Not M-A-N-G-A, but M-O-N-G-A.
I'm going to say it's Monga.
Along with Guiron, but due to limited time and budget, the Gaio suit was taken and painted silver and called Space Gaios. Guiron's dismemberment of said Gaios is a reference to the Zatoichi series Daiei was producing at the time. They were popular samurai
There's
movies.
Like a bunch of those.
And they're all on some of them are on the Criterion
I've actually heard
channel.
they're pretty good, some of them.
I think I added a couple of them to my queue on a Criterion channel. I need to check them out.
This is fair.
Gamera's gymnastic move was inspired by the '68 Mexico Olympics. And this was featured twice on MST3K.
2 times. Count
Twice.
2.
I will say, I think, like, in terms of America's consciousness, I guess. Not conscience. Consciousness, I guess. This is probably the most infamous Gamera movie. The one that people, they may not know what it's called, but they've seen bits of it because I think this was one of the more popular Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes. Like, this is one of the ones you
Apparently
hear
it was
about.
popular enough for them to do it twice.
Yeah. I haven't watched the MST3K version of it, but maybe I should check that out sometime.
Have you watched a lot of MST3K, Aaron?
I watched a decent amount of MST3. I mean, I haven't watched it. I've watched several episodes, and they're funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time. It's not always great. I think I like their new iteration more. Riff Tracks, yeah. Of course, they still have MST3K. They brought
Riff
it
Tracks,
back.
I feel like I've seen maybe an episode of MST3K. MST3K looks like it was probably more supposed to be family oriented.
It's a little, well, but Riff Tracks is
Riff Tracks is family oriented, but I feel like
not.
sometimes they can make more adult jokes on that because you pay to come see it in theaters.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen some pretty risque jokes, but yeah, it was on cable television, so yeah, they had limits obviously. But they still have MST3K. They brought it back on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix. They did a couple seasons of it. I watched a couple of those too. Anyway, A little bit of box office information. This was released on March 21st of 1969 with a budget of 24 million yen. So, still pretty cheap. But we're going to listen to a trailer, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about what we thought of Gamera vs. Guiron, the 5th entry in the Gamera franchise. See you in a bit.
したんですか。こんなに慌てて。えらくちゃん、宇宙船で子供が飛び出してしまった。えらくちゃん、警察で連絡取らなきゃ。えらくちゃん。
いいですか。子供の嘘の話を信じてやるふりすることは教育上絶対に悪いことなんですよ。
しかしですね、あの智子ちゃんの真剣な顔をね。
いけません。
私は天文台長の志賀です。2人の少年を乗せて飛び去った宇宙船の正体は分かりません。今のところ捜索する方法もありません。
すごいなあ。誰かいませんか。ここは一体どこだろう。お姉さんたち誰なの。
あなたたちが来るの待ってたのよ。
All right, we're back.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This film was directed by Noriaki Iwasa, written by Nissan Takahashi, music by Shunsuke Kikuchi, effects by Kazufumi Fuji. Shut up, Dylan. Starring Nobuhiro Kashima, Christopher Murphy, I wonder who that is, Miyuki Akiyama, Eiji Funakoshi, Kon Omura, Yuko Hamada, Edith Hansen, I wonder who that is. Reiko Kasahara, Hiroko Kai, and Uminosuke Izumi as Gamera. What is the plot? Is there a plot?
Have you seen the last Gamera movie? Okay, it's the same. I don't even have to say anything.
Didn't even say it. But why don't you remind the audience?
When two young boys, Akio and Tom, see a spaceship land through their telescope, they immediately go and investigate. While touring the ship, they are trapped on board and taken to an alien world. There, they meet two alien women, Florbella and Barbella, who command a giant beast named Guiron. At first, the women seem nice, but it is soon revealed that they actually want to eat the children's brains. Interesting.
They're zombies. Zombie aliens.
Zombie aliens. Gamera comes to save the children, but Guiron proves more than an equal match. That is, until the kids use their wits to help Gamera defeat the knife-headed foe. The alien women are killed during the fight, and with Guiron defeated, Gamera takes the kids back to Earth. In the final scene, the boys are reunited with their parents, and Gamera flies off to the cheers of the gathered crowd. As credits roll.
So, this movie starts out, it doesn't get right into the action. Like some previous movies, we meet these kids. They are very interested in the stars.
No, we don't meet the kids first. We get a science lesson.
We get a science lesson first. I don't
for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, about the star, because there's these alien signals being received, and so the scientist talks about all the planets and drones on for a while. But then, once we get past that, we get to these kids, and there's actually a trio. There's Tom, Akio, and Akio's little sister.
Who has a name?
Whose name
I'm not sure.
is Tomoko?
I think so.
Yeah, Tomoko. Anyway, and they're very interested in the stars. They're looking through their telescope every night, and this night they happen to see a spaceship. So they go investigate the next morning, and after a conversation with a very friendly cop. I'm sorry. We're not going to start that.
Scoutmaster Kevin?
No. Anyway, so after they meet the cop, they go on, and they actually do something very important. They actually set up Chekhov's gun in this movie. And by Chekhov's gun, it's Chekhov's Nerf gun. This kid has this very powerful Nerf gun that he like shoots a shirt.
It's a suction cup dart gun.
Sticks it to the wall. I'm like, dang, I want that Nerf gun. That'll knock someone out. Anyway, so they find the spaceship. They like a couple of idiots, they go on board, start pressing buttons, and then they're surprised when it
takes off.
Yeah. And then Gamera's like,
and then Gamera shows up, so they
saves them from
have
some
a race, and then they
like,
have a race.
Have a race, and Gamera's like, you need to go back now. But the spaceship starts flying super fast and leaves Gamera in the dust. So they get to this planet.
55.
They get to this planet, and lo and behold, there's not just Gaios. Space Gaios.
What's the difference, you ask?
One's from space. He's also silver.
He's silver. He's painted silver.
He's painted silver.
He looks kind of more like a plane. I don't remember if he looked that much like a plane in the last one.
I mean, it's just the suit from the last one. They just spray painted it silver. I mean,
he looks more plainish.
This is the silver coating.
I guess.
Okay. Anyway,
the plane's
then they reveal Guiron. Remember Knifehead from Pacific Rim? This is the inspiration for that. So anyway, he comes out and he I mean this movie, like you said,
it's brutal.
It's pretty violent. I mean, they've all been pretty violent.
He just freaking slices up Gaios and then chops them up into little pieces,
and then grabs a piece and he's like
tries to eat it, and then he's like, nah.
Even does an evil laugh. But yeah, so then they meet the space women, and at first they're all nice and pretty.
They're like, we'll fix a spaceship and you can go home. And they mention Gamera.
Yes, the Gamera. What is Gamera? And then they're going to fix some donuts, and they put them to sleep. Well, first she reads the kid's mind at one point and figures out what Gamera is, but gives them donuts, puts them to sleep, but then the white boy
figures out what Gamera is using. Guess what?
What?
Stock footage.
Yes, gotta pad that runtime, boys. This one's about 82 minutes, so still gotta pad the runtime a little bit. It's about 10 minutes longer than the last one, but you know. They actually shave the kid playing Akios. They actually shave his head. Dedication.
I hope that kid got paid extra.
Probably not.
Probably not.
It was a free haircut. They knocked it off his face.
It was the summer.
But yeah, so but the white kid, Tom, he wakes up and overhears their evil plot.
This kid speaks impeccable Japanese.
He speaks pretty good. I wondered if he was dubbed, but I don't think so.
I don't think he was.
He was dubbed. I think he just speaks good Japanese.
Yeah. He's a terrible actor, though. I mean, Jim looks like an Oscar-worthy performance compared to Tom. Like, you can just tell, like, he has the same blank expression the whole movie, and when he's not speaking, you can just tell he has no idea what to do.
He's just standing there.
And at one point, I don't know if this was intentional or just, like, really bad acting. He stares straight at the camera at one point.
I was like, did that man just break the fourth wall?
I don't know. Like I said, I mean,
like he finishes saying a line and then looks over at the camera with like this weird look. And I'm like, what? I was like, did this movie just get meta?
On the bright side, in comparison, the young boy playing Akio seems to be a much better actor. But anyway, yeah. So they try to get away. There's some antics. They have these little teleportation machines. That,
oh yeah, it's cool. They press buttons and they transport to other places.
Yeah, there's some antics with that. And Gamera shows up and fights Guiron, and Gamera gets his butt kicked at first like usual. And there's Guiron uses his ninja stars to keep Gamera from retracting his limbs, and Gamera falls into the water for a while. I think if I'm doing my usual breakdown, I think we first see Gamera at about the 15-minute mark. I think the Guiron and Space Gaios have their fight around 22 minutes. And I think Gamera arrives on the planet around the 50-minute mark, 51 minutes. Like they have a fight, and then Gamera gets knocked out of commission for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then Guiron goes on a rampage and like chops the spaceship in half as the space women try to get away and starts destroying the little space city or whatever, space fort. Space
Force?
Oh no. But then Gamera wakes back up and there's some really wild antics. Gamera does his little gymnastic routine and he like uses a rock to deflect the ninja stars, and
Oh, it's beautiful.
the kids shoot off a rocket and Gamera like throws it into the ninja star hole and Guiron's knife and blows him up.
Yes,
and
sir.
I mean, it's pretty cray-cray. And then Gamera, the ship got cut in half, but Gamera welds it back together because Gamera's an engineer now. He's a gymnast and an engineer. He's multi-talented, folks. And he takes the kids back home, and, they all live happily ever. This kid Akio comes back home, and he's like, we don't need to leave Earth. We just need to fix her so there's no more... What do you say? No more wars and traffic accidents. Very specific.
Two very specific things.
Well, the wars, like that,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But traffic, not starvation, not hunger.
Traffic accidents.
Traffic accidents. And I believe, if I remember right, in the dub or in the American cut of the movie, he says he mentions traffic accidents a lot.
Happens.
Maybe that was happened to his dad. Maybe, died in a traffic accident. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, they all live happily ever after. Did you enjoy it, Dylan? Was it better than last week?
It's not bad. Better than the movie we watched last week?
Yeah.
What did we watch last week? The Gila monster?
Oh, yeah, I mean...
It's much better than that.
Was it better than the previous Gamera movie?
I don't know if the word better is the proper term to use.
Yeah.
More entertaining.
Yeah.
I think this one doubled down. I criticized the last one for being too goofy, I think.
Yeah.
But this one is goofy in a more fun way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe it has to do something with the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's alright.
Yeah, I agree. I like the tone.
I think it's slightly better paced than the previous film.
Probably. I like the tone of this movie. I think it's very similar to the last movie. I agree. Maybe just because of the sci. They're really. Well, I mean, I guess when the last one was sci-fi too, but just the setting of being on this, cheesy looking alien world, and then all the fun, goofy stuff they do on it. I do think it is. You can argue that it is more fun than the last Gamera movie.
And the final fight is more entertaining.
Yeah, I think the final fight is entertaining. Yeah. Although I thought the final fight in the last one was pretty entertaining too. Mm-hmm. And I love the Gaio's Guiron fight and the way he just chops him up. That's funny. And, I think again, I think Tom is a terrible actor, which is yes. Which I thought Jim last time around, for someone who had no acting experience, wasn't bad. I didn't think. So there's that. It's just a fun, goofy sci-fi kaiju movie. I think that's the best way to describe it. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I mean, even though it's 10 minutes longer than the last one, it's 8 to 10 minutes. It actually cuts down on the stock footage used compared to the last one by quite a bit. We just really have that one scene where they just kind of go back to the kids' memories, which I think is a good move. And yeah, I don't know. Fine. I thought it was a fun time.
It's all right. It's
all right.
It's slightly better than the last one. Or more entertaining. Something like that.
Something like that. Want to talk about creature design?
Sure.
So we have Gamera, as always. Same as always.
The same.
The puppet,
giant turtle.
It looks maybe a little rough sometimes, but it's what it is. We have Space Gaios, I believe is the next thing we see, which is just Gaios spray painted gray.
Still looks like a bat thing.
Yeah.
Bat.
He chops up nice.
Angular. Clearly made out of purple foam. And he gets chopped up, but we can talk about that in a minute.
And then, of course, Guiron.
He's like a knife head shark thing.
I do like Guiron, even though it's pretty obvious
flies.
At times. Well, he jumps. Even though it's pretty obvious at times that it's just a guy on his hands and knees crawling around.
Yeah.
I love the giant knife head. I love the fact that he shoots ninja stars out of his head for whatever reason, and they come back to him like boomerangs. The fact that he has an evil laugh, and it's just funny. I enjoy Guiron quite a bit.
He's a more interesting
He's a way
villain
more
creature.
interesting.
Yeah.
Better than the aliens that merge into a giant squid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like the aliens that merge into the giant squid.
I'm sure I'll get to see them again.
Not those specific aliens.
No.
But I'm sure I'll get to see the giant squid again.
Well, you get to see that exact fight again in Gamera Super Monster. Anyway, but no, I like Guiron. I think it's good. So monsters, you know, the main thing is how is the new foe, and I think the new foe
He's cool.
is pretty cool. Effects, you know, I mean they are cheesy. They're rough.
Here's the thing. I think that they had a serious issue with proportion and scale in this movie with their models. There is a point in time when these kids walk up to this spaceship, and the way that they had the shot before framed, and then the way it flows into the next shot of the spaceship, it makes the spaceship look like a little bitty tiny spaceship. Like they're gonna be little bitty baby aliens that walk out of it, and then they, because of this model, and then they cut to a very horrible shot where they're matted very poorly onto this shot of the spaceship.
Yeah.
And they, it's like way bigger than them. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, the rear projection and the matting is really bad in this movie.
Ooh.
Look, there's you were commenting on a scene when they land on the alien world where they're standing in front of a rear projected screen of the spaceship.
I can't tell if either they're standing on a set with these rocks
No,
there,
I'm pretty sure.
but it looks like these foam rocks are layered in the very foreground of this shot with the kids on the second layer and then this rear projection shot behind them.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it does not look good. They do that a couple times. You know, the sets, you know, the interior.
The interior sets are good.
The interior sets are pretty
They look
decent.
like cheesy sci-fi sets,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the exterior sets are
They
very
look like
clearly
sets.
sets.
Yeah, they're pretty
They don't
bad.
even try.
And then you mentioned, like, it's obvious that the chopped up Gaios is styrofoam.
Straight
pieces
up
of
purple foam.
Purple dyed styrofoam. But I like the blood spurts from Gaios and Gamera, you know? But, you know, I think overall, you're ragging on these effects. I think they, for the most part, I wish some of it looked better, but I think they matched the tone of this movie. I think it goes with this tone of this movie.
The model work being goofy and kind of cheap looking and stuff like that doesn't bother me. The thing that bothers me is the horrible matting.
Yeah, that is distracting, and not in a good way.
No.
But it is what it
and
is.
even the scale and the proportion of like the shot with them next to or like looking at the spaceship doesn't necessarily bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of distracting. You're like, wait, hold on. But I can forgive it for that and the model work. But the matting and the rear projection, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely atrocious.
It's not great.
And there's a lot of scenes where they're like looking out windows or quote unquote camera system that these aliens have. Oh, and the footage is just atrocious.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. The score, and you know, I actually think even outside the Gamera March, which a lot of the score is still like variations of that, but I think the score's pretty decent this time around. I think it flows with matches the movie, matches the scenes that it's paired with pretty well. And of course, I still love the Gamera March. It's quite a lot of fun. Gamera.
You're so strong, Gamera.
Yeah, but anyway, you want to go on to final thoughts? Did you enjoy the score?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
There's a lot of variation on the Gamera theme. And then there's another central theme that plays a couple times that sounds a lot like Up on the Rooftop, like the Christmas song. I'm like, hold on.
Maybe it's because you're in the Christmas spirit.
Feeling very, very festive.
I thought this one was less reliant. I thought the score was less reliant, less centric on that one theme compared to the last one. Yeah. But yeah, moving on. Final thoughts. Andrew, what do you think?
Well, you know, this movie is not the worst movie I've ever seen.
We have seen worse.
We have seen way worse. The matting and the rear projection, not good. Not good at all.
No.
And the models are alright. The inside of them is cool looking, better. Outside of them, it could be worse, I think. The score is pretty...
Trust me, It's Can.
I gotta go.
The score is pretty good. I like the score for what it is. The Gamma March is cool as always.
Yeah.
And the creatures design, creatures are pretty cool. The Gamera looks the same as always. I like the sword head. Well, the knife head.
Okay.
Sword head. Guy. And I'm gonna give this movie a C+.
A C+.
A C+.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah. Hit the reset button.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on? I'm gonna need it at the end of this franchise.
Yeah.
No, this movie's not horrible. It's a slight improvement over the previous Gamera film that we watched. I know, like I said earlier, I kind of knocked that one for being too cheesy and too kid-centric, but I think that this one does it in a more effective and entertaining way. I don't know if that has to do with just the monster being more intriguing to me, because he's kind of funnier.
Yeah.
With, like, the ninja stars and him chopping things up and literally, like, chopping Gaios into multiple pieces and then laughing about it. I don't know if there's something wrong with me in the head or what. Probably. But, and it's got a very kind of cheesy, like, generic sci-fi vibe, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that the children actors are... Nah.
Yeah.
I think the young Japanese boy is definitely a better actor than this young American kid.
Yeah. They probably had a very limited pool of white children.
How many of you can speak Japanese?
Speak fluent Japanese.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
But overall, I mean, I think the story is a little better paced than the previous film. We don't get right into the action. It does kind of start out kind of bordering with a science lesson, and then we do get to kind of know our characters at the beginning of the film before they go off. But once they go off, I mean, it's fairly well paced. As soon as they take off in the spaceship, we have our interaction with Gamera. Then they get to the planet and they see this fight between Gaios and Guiron, and then shenanigans and the interior shots. And then the final fight, I think, is really fun, entertaining, especially when Gamera does freaking gymnastics. What the heck? But overall, I mean, I think the story is all right. I like these characters slightly better than the previous characters, I guess. I think the monsters are cool, I guess. Gamera looks the same. Gaios looks the same. He just painted silver. But Guiron's pretty dope. Looks like a giant knife-headed shark thing, which is cool. And he shoots freaking ninja stars out of his head, which is cool. The effects, though, are where this movie really, really, really struggles. The model work is okay, definitely looks cheap, but I mean, this movie is kind of going with that. They understand that they don't have the budget, and they're kind of rolling with that. But the matting and the rear projection is absolutely atrocious, and I can't do that. I mean, the score is all right. I'll give it a C. I think I gave the last one like a D plus or something like that, right? Or a D or something like that. I'll give this one a C.
Okay. Yeah, listen, this movie really combines two of my favorite things: old cheesy monster movies and old cheesy sci-fi movies. So, it would have to work really hard to go wrong, in my opinion. I think, I talked about the last time. I thought that cheesy kind of tone that it had, I enjoyed it. And again, I enjoyed it a lot here. I think they strike that balance really well. I think it's just got a really lighthearted, fun tone about it. I think it's even helped out more by the fact that, we had aliens and we spent time on an alien ship last time, but this time we actually go to an alien planet and everything. And, like another cheesy sci-fi trope is pretty alien girls and things like that. Lots of sci-fi tropes here, but, I enjoy those kind of things. So, and then again, I like Guiron. I think he's a pretty cool Showa-era Gamera villain, maybe the coolest of all of them. I really like his fight with Gaios, like we've mentioned several times. It's just the brutality of him, just the careless brutality of him just chopping up Gaios. Things you'd never seen in children movies today.
And then laughing about it.
And then him laughing about it, and then him like taking a whiff of it and being like, "Ooh, this stinks too much to eat." Like, that's something you'd never seen in a kid's movie today. And then, yeah, even the goofy stuff like Gamera doing gymnastics and Guiron having ninja stars that act like boomerangs and throwing a rocket into his head. And I mean, you know, all that stuff. Gamera just taking a ship and just putting it back together like a Lego set and fusing it back together. You know, love all that stuff. Of course, love the Gamera March. Anytime I hear it, it makes me happy. And even the score outside the Gamera March, I think is pretty good. You know, I'm gonna give this movie a B. I enjoy it quite a bit. So, don't give me that look, Dylan.
Somebody likes Gamera.
I do like Gamera. Okay, don't judge me. But anyway, there's a few things I want to talk about today. I did get in the mail. I did get the Howl from Beyond the Fog from SRS Cinema, and after further conversation, me and Andrew did watch it. But after further conversation, it's a short, it's 35 minutes. But I think that I think it is good enough for all three of us to watch it and review it at a later date. So
maybe we'll do a bonus episode.
Maybe it'll be a bonus episode one day when we just all have
Monster Hunter doesn't come out, maybe we'll fill it in there or something like that.
Yeah, we'll figure out what to do. I also acquired the Hanna-Barbera animated Godzilla show from the 70s. So right now we are still slowly working on the TriStar animated series. We're working on that. We'll try to get that out to you as before the end of this month. I was hoping. We've kind of fallen behind, but I'm trying to think if we want to go right into that or watch another Ultraman show and then go into Godzilla, the old animated series. I don't know. We'll have to kind of figure out that timing, but I have it and we're going to watch it. Dylan's welcome to join us if he wants.
For what?
For the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And he's like, man. There was 3 seconds of footage shown for Godzilla vs. Kong at that Brazilian...
yeah, it's allegedly the trailer teaser.
The teaser to the trailer. I mean, literally all it is a shot of King Kong, a shot of Godzilla swimming, and then a shot of King Kong roaring, and then a shot of Godzilla swimming.
Allegedly, we're getting a trailer soon. I would venture to say it'll probably come out with Wonder Woman.
That's what I was thinking. I figured they'll probably put it with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's also revealed in the legal documents that Warner Brothers, or that Legendary sent to Warner Brothers because they're ticked about the going straight to streaming thing.
Oh, yes. Did we discuss that yet?
No, I'll discuss it. Well, I was going to say, it was revealed in those documents that Godzilla vs. Kong's budget was around $160 million, which, if that number is accurate, is actually a little cheaper than the last one. But yeah,
big news, HBO or Warner Brothers has decided that their entire 2021...
I mean, we did talk about that.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Their 2021 slate of releases will...
go to straight streaming.
Yeah, they're going to follow the same streaming releases.
In response to that, Legendary has sent some legal documents to Warner Brothers, basically, threatening to sue them. It's like... Because I think Legendary is responsible for approximately 75% of the budgets that they do with of the pictures they do with Warner Brothers. So they were not informed beforehand, and they were not happy about that announcement. So they were like, gonna fight it. So we'll see how that goes. Results in another delayed.
The movie's never coming out.
No.
And I floated this question to you guys here a few weeks ago, but I don't think we ever talked about it on the podcast. Are we going to review the live-action Clifford the Big Red Dog movie?
Yes. I think we should. What do y'all think?
It's what the fans deserve.
It's what the fans deserve.
I think, in all seriousness, as serious as we can be about the subject, I think we will. We'll do it as kind of like a fun thing. Is it really a monster movie? No.
It probably is going to be horrifying. I've seen the footage.
Probably. But I think it'll be a fun thing to do. I think it's always a debate in the fandom. Is Clifford the Big Red Dog a kaiju?
He's definitely from another dimension.
Yeah, someone was definitely high when they thought of that cartoon. But other than that, our next film coming up, I believe, is the Monolith Monsters. It's another cheesy B-movie monster. I say monster movie, but I watched the trailer, and I think it's literally just about giant monoliths rising out of the ground. Like, that's it.
Who made this?
I don't know, some cheesy American movie.
Have you heard about these random monoliths that keep popping up all over the country?
I did, but I think someone finally caught someone putting it.
Yeah, they're just people.
But yeah, but no, like these are giant monoliths, like giant. So we're going to check that out. I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. We might break Dylan with that one, officially. Then I think our next Gamera movie is Gamera vs. Giger, and then I think after that is when we are tentatively scheduled to talk about Monster Hunter.
If it doesn't get pulled from American cinemas.
Because apparently
it did get pulled from Chinese cinemas over an alleged racist comment or joke in the movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I can't imagine it's that hard to just edit it out if it's that offensive. I mean, I don't know.
Unless they're just worried about it not making money now that people aren't going to go see it, so they just
listen. Nobody knows about that instance, like except for super nerds. Okay, so they're not that worried about it. At least not here in the States. But anyway, I think that's all we got.
It's still going to be a terrible movie.
It is going to be a terrible movie, but I keep an open mind. Try my best. Can't be worse than Mulan, right? Shh. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to say his name.
Can't be worse than that thing we watched last night.
That thing we watched last night.
It can be.
I guess it can be. You know what?
It can be a lot less pretty.
Mm-hmm. I will even say that thing we watched last night, I think I would rather watch it than that thing they called the Aladdin live-action remake. You know? Or even that thing they called the Lion King remake. But I don't know. We're not here to talk about Disney live-action remakes. Dylan, do we have anything in the pipeline for our YouTube channel if we ever get to it?
Well, since Aaron just finished school...
Literally just finished a couple
today.
Hours ago.
I imagine he'll probably work on editing our Interstellar review sometime.
Why you just assume, Dylan?
You know what happens when you assume?
Assumptions.
I'm gonna have to sit down with Aaron so he can teach me better how to edit. We've done this once or twice, but I still haven't grasped the concept, I guess.
You're doing the D's, the D's,
and I said,
what? But what are the D's?
Anyway, we do have an Interstellar review that's set to come out sometime soon. We should be finishing off our Nolan reviews with Dunkirk sometime this month, allegedly. We may or may not get to a series of films this month, but if we don't, we are planning to do something for Christmas, which I know Aaron is just so excited for.
So excited.
Mm-hmm.
But we have things coming up, so keep a lookout for those on DNA Film Reviews on YouTube. Other than that, if you want to follow our social media on this podcast, we're up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Stomp This Way on all those platforms. Make sure you give us a like or a follow, and be sure to tell your friends about us.
That's right. If you want to contact us concerning this podcast, you can contact us at stompthisway1954@gmail.com.
This is true. We also have a website. Andrew, what's that website?
Well, that website is www.stompthisway.podbean.com.
This is accurate. We have things over there such as... He's thinking.
We have a schedule.
Are you sure?
And we have grades for previous films on that schedule.
Do we?
We do. We also have backlogged episodes.
Whoa.
We have some news and updates when I get around to updating it, which I think is pretty up to date right now.
Right on.
So, yeah. We have my whole page dedicated to my rankings from all 35 Godzilla movies.
Whoa.
From number 1 through number 35, if you're interested in knowing my opinion.
It's not relevant.
Not relevant
Not
at all.
relevant.
But I think that's it for this week, right?
That is it for this week. So again, next week, the Monolith Monsters, and then Gamera vs. Giger, and then we may or may not review a new release. So we'll see. But as always, thank you.
Thank you.
As always, thank you for listening. I'm Aaron.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dylan, and we'll catch you in the next one.